All right, what's up, y'all? I just got off from work. Took a half day. Yeah, because we didn't have a lot of work to do. You know, I'm sitting up here with these fucking teenagers, calling themselves, telling me what to do, like they know something about life, right? So I was like, man. So, dude X, if I wanted to go home early, because sometimes they do that when there's not a lot of workload. And considering the fact that I took pay for an all-day pass, and considering the fact that that what that means is tomorrow, I won't have to, because I took off so early. I would have to pay. I won't have to pay. I shouldn't have to pay for an all-day pass. I should just pay for a 3-hour pass, which is $3 versus an all-day pass, which is $6. I was like, yeah, ain't nothing going on. I just felt the vibe that today was just gonna be goofy as hell. So I was like, man, let me just quit while I'm still ahead. Let me just get on this bus, and then you hear about and I'm not all that surprised that it's happened before, because last year and the year prior it didn't happen. But in 2001, I said I said 2001. In 2021, Denver experienced something called like a monsoon season, where it'll just be this influx of just and dead in the middle of summer, right? Of just rainy ass weather, and for the most part, it'll be isolated thunderstorm. But it kind of cools down, like the heat, if you will. Now, like I said, we didn't get that in last year or in 2022. It was just hot as hell, throughout the entire 3-month period that summer comes here in Denver, where it just gets hot than a motherfucker. And I thought that we were gonna get that this year too, because yesterday it was hot as hell. Like it got up to, in the day before too, last Saturday and Sunday, it got up to 100 degrees. And yeah, I felt that shit. It was hot than a motherfucker. And that's really the only time that I actually can feel like the weather getting hot, like, at least to me anyway. Because like I've been saying, 91 degrees out here feels like 81 degrees to me. But then again, I am from the Mid-South, so the only way it's going to have an effect on me is, shit, it gets the temps like we see in, like out in the motherfucking desert, like out in Arizona, parts of California, like Death Valley and Nevada and shit. Cause I ain't trying to say that it don't get hot than a motherfucker out in the West. If anything, I dare say it gets even hotter, especially out in the desert. I couldn't live in no Arizona, bro, or even parts of California. Well, really California, period. I couldn't fuck with California. That's not just because of the weather. It's because of the way California is, apparently. Like, they on some more shit. But that's, of course, as y'all probably know, that's not why. That is definitely not even close to the crux of this video. I'm actually here because before I go to bed, because before just before I got off work, right, um, and I was on break, I saw this video of this dude who's in his 20s, and I know that because he says that he's 23 years old. And the guy was just kind of like, really just breaking down. He didn't really go into details about what, he was going through, but, he was breaking down, crying and shit about like life just giving him a really tough time. Right. So let me just say this starting off, because I'm not gonna sit up here and say that real men don't cry, because it's that kind of attitude that's the very reason why a lot of men, especially of that generation, are in the grave. So I'm not one to tell you that real men don't cry. It kind of reminds me of this book that I read back in high school called Warriors Don't Cry. If y'all are familiar with that, maybe that's around my generation. Hell, it's not even really my generation. That's really my mother's generation. But it's so interesting that a lot of books that, um, a lot of things and material and whatnot that my folks being my parents grew up reading when they were in high school. A lot of that stuff I ended up reading when I was in high school. Back in the early 2000s, as if that was such a terrible long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was to a millennial, because the millennial today, the millennial who's born in 2000, is 24 years old. Kind of like dude. Or not even millennial, just a Gen, what is it, like a Gen Zer or whatnot? Because I'm a millennial. Yeah, yeah, I'm an 80s millennial. Yeah, born in 85. But, so let me just start off by saying that, so that he knows that I'm not punking your ass because you up here crying. The only thing about it is, dude, and these are things, and this ties right into what I'm getting ready to give as far as a lesson for your from your older brother, old B, if you will, is that if you gotta cry, cry. Because trust me, I know what life is like in your 20s. I know what it's like. There were things there were things that happened to me in my 20s that was so hurtful. It had me crying when I was well into my 30s. Just just scars that took years to heal. And I'm not even talking about, and what makes it so bad too for me, bruh, is that I'm not even talking about deaths in the family. I'm not even talking about deaths in the family. Things that happened to me that hurt me even worse than some of my most beloved family members, you know, giving up the ghost and, going home to glory. And I be feeling so bad about that too, bro, because it makes me mad at myself that I allowed certain people to come into my life, and I fucked around and caught such a love buzz that I fell so madly in love with them that when, you know, she did what women eventually will do, by the way, it's only a matter of time, that it had a nigga, just hurt for years. And then, people who really did care about you, people who really did love you die, and you don't even, I mean, it ain't to say that it didn't phase me or nothing like that. That ain't even close to what I'm saying. It's just, I'm saying I didn't show anywhere near the level of emotion. And I was genuinely hurt about the fact that, my most, when my most beloved family members, by my most beloved, I'm really referencing my grandmother and my auntie, passed away a couple of years ago. Yeah, my auntie passed away, yeah, just 2 years ago, right around this time, ironically enough, 2 years ago. And my grandmother passed just before the pandemic, just before the pandemic. So when I say this, bro, I'm really saying this in tough love. Cause I mean, I feel like I'm your big bro. That that's just some things that I really need to talk about as far as what you going through, bro. Cause it's not unusual. But for starters, bro, if you gotta cry, do that shit off in a corner somewhere where can't nobody see you, bro. Because even with me, going through that heartbreak, and I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that as I go into the depth, as we go into the depths of this video. But even with me going through the heartbreak of losing the woman that I loved, and I'm not saying that that's what you're going through or that's why you're crying. I'm just saying that's what a lot of men go through in their 20s. And with me living in a town like Memphis or anywhere, hell, that could have been here. Yeah. That's why I wish, with me, and again, I'm going to get into it, bro. I'm going to get into it. But I wish I would fuck around and catch a love buzz in Denver, Colorado after all the bullshit Denver, Colorado put me through within the 6 years that I've been here. I wish I would give a woman. I mean, it wouldn't happen. It won't happen. That's why they probably looking at me funny style, because they like, we can't find a bitch for this nigga to get out here and fuck around and fall in love and do all this weird goofy shit. Yeah, dude, because bro, you can't fool the old fool. I done already made that mistake before, dude. Hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I must be a damn fool. Because after you go through some bullshit like that, you have to be a damn fool to get out here and, well, try my luck with love again. Like hell. Like hell. And I can genuinely say, I genuinely believe that I will never, by my own will, as well as just by the amount of goofies that I'm constantly running into, it's a mixture of both. I will never find anyone, let alone fall as hopelessly and madly in love as the way I did her. But it served the purpose. Now, with that said, let me explain to you what's going on. You're 23, right? Because just because I'm 38 here in 2024, don't think for one split second I don't remember what life was like 15 years ago, 16 years ago, when I was 22, 23, in 2008, 2009. I remember my 20s very well. Very well. Just like I remember my teens very well. But there's a little bit of time and distance with my teenage years, even though I remember that shit. But the reason why I remember my 20s so vividly well, and here I am getting ready to walk into my 40s, because like I said, I'm 38. In 2 years, I'll be 40. The reason why I remember my 20s so well is because in my 20s, I went through a lot of shit. And I mean a lot of shit. And you would think that, because I remember the day I turned 20. I literally remember the day I turned 20. So my first year in my 20s, back in 2005, November 6th. I remember that shit. And you would think that throughout, as you got older, as you went through your you went through your early 20s and then go through your mid 20s and then, you're in the late peak of your 20s, that things would have gotten better. That from process of ages 20 to 29, that things would have gotten better. Now, having said that, things changed. But the only changes that were there that really changed were things that I made change. Because you talked about things like, bro, this dude, and the thing about it is, I know where you're coming from. Like, you have a very defeatist mindset. Like, to the dude that who was over here talking about, he has this thing called, like, he's about antinatalism, whatever the hell that means. I used to know what natalism means, or antinatalism, or whatever the hell. Like I said, I used to know what that means. I ain't the best vocab expert. But bro, you're coming from a position of defeatism, and I know why you're doing it. I know what's going on. It goes back to just by your demeanor, just by the influx of your speech. I know what's going on with you. You were reared in a community that has basically failed you, that has basically thrown you under the bus, and that has basically ill prepared you for the harsh realities of this thing called life. Now, how do I know all that? Well, aside from what I've learned from my elders, like AC, like Accountable Commentary, and the Black Authority, Jason Black. Because they pointed out that, our elders, not only have they failed us, they basically sold us down the river. And they have. And the reason why I know that is because I come from a very similar background like you. I come from a background of people who tried to mold me into this. I mean, I don't know what was going on with my folks, with my parents, right? Because it's like, and again, y'all, where am I from? I am from Memphis. I am from one of the most dangerous cities in the motherfucking country. More dangerous than Detroit, more dangerous than Los Angeles, more dangerous than Chicago. I genuinely believe that shit, bro, because Memphis ninjas don't give a fuck, bro. They just don't. I had to survive that. And as well as it being the most dangerous city in the country, it's one of the most impoverished cities in the country. So with that said, right, I had to go through some shit. I had to survive some bullshit. And it would seem to me, it just seems to me, because it was later on in life, long after the fact, when I'm into my 30s, that like I said, a man in his 20s is a time when he's tried by the fire. That's like that apparently is supposed to happen. And Lord knows it happened to me. Lord knows it happened to me as soon as I hit 20, bro. As soon as I hit 20. And in fact, the older I got, the more I progressed in my 20s, the worse it got. Because here's the thing. Here's the goal. Here's what the goal was. Because it was a goal that I had set in my life, set in place, since I had even known of the concept of college. Because like I said, man, even though I grew up in a hood ass, ghetto ass city like Memphis, I had a strong family structure. I was a shelter kid. My mom worked in the RS. My dad did part-time active duty, like with reserves in the army, and he was a school teacher. So I was like, if nothing else, at the very least, I knew for a fact that I was going to go to school and do my 4 years and get something of a college education. Well, that 4 years ended up becoming 7 years. And technically, you could almost say 9 years, because I matriculated into the University of Memphis at 18. I graduated from the University of Memphis at 29. And throughout those, what was it, 11 years, right? See, I don't even try to count the 3 years that I was out, because, you know, throughout that time, I sat out of school for 3 years willingly. 2 years willingly. One, I fucked around and ran out of student loan money. Until, you know, basically the University of Memphis came up with their own loan program, so instead of owing Sally Mae, I would end up owing money directly given to me from the University of Memphis. And it was through that I was able to complete my last 2 semesters of college in 2014 and go on to graduate. But bro, when I tell you the bullshit that I went through, all the while pursuing that degree, from the time that you know, I basically sat out of school in 2006 and 2007, from the time I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go and get back in school, and all the bullshit that took place before, after, whenever, basically, like I said, from age 20 to 29. Because for me, the end game was graduating from school. Hell on high water. And hell on high water I endured. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. I'm here to tell it on the mountain, because I just happen to be out on the mountain. I'm out here telling it on the mountain, because I live in the mountain. Man, so, bro, I don't know your situation. I don't know your story. I'm pretty sure, you know, you got a good head on your shoulders. I'm pretty sure you ain't got nothing going on, like no wife, no kids, no child support, you know, things that's going to drag you and your finances down. But bro, let me give you the sit rep for all you motherfuckers who are in your 20s going through what you're going through. I'm here to deliver the bad news. That's the name of the game. You in the Hunger Games, bro. And take it from me, I'm in my 30s. I'm still in the Hunger Games. Because ever since I've been out here, you know, and I've been enjoying the fruits of my labor, but I got these weird motherfuckers. But I guess that's what they mean when they say new levels, new devils. But let me tell you what the purpose of your 20s is. Because you can't seem to figure out why this is happening to you. And take it from me, bro, I'm dropping gems, because when I was in it, you think I had people telling me what's going on and why am I going through what I'm going through and all this other goofy shit? All the goofy fuck shit that I had to endure from ages 20 to 29. Because one thing that I noticed after I graduated, things started kind of letting up. Now, Memphis was still on his bullshit till my very last day. But I was like, shit, nigga, I got options. I got this degree. And on the real, I ain't got no reason to be here no more. So surely enough, I dipped. When the dipping was good. But bro, the hell that Memphis put me through in my 20s. It's the Hunger Games, bro. And what you're going to have to figure out and assess is what's the end game? What's your vision, if you will? What is your vision, dude? You're going to have to assess, you're going to have to analyze, you're going to have to pinpoint what your vision is. Because that's really why you're going through what you're going through, bro. That's why you're going through what you're going through. That's why you can't get a leg up. That's why your money's always looking funny. That's why, you so much as do this. I mean, your finances are fucked up. I know, bro. I've been there. That's why, being out here, can't nobody tell me nothing. You think these goofy Colorado motherfuckers, I can tell. I already know the answer to that. The answer is no. But let me tell you something, dude. Whatever you got to go through, whatever kind of shit sandwich you got to eat, you need to eat that shit, bro. You really do. Because let me tell you what the end result. See, it's so crazy to me, too, because, like I said, I had to go through a lot of shit. A lot of shit. Between work, between school, between, whatever kind of apartment I had at the time, whether or not I was living at my mama's house, my grandmama's house, my daddy's house, like I said, or one of those two apartments that I was in, I had to go through a lot of shit. Kind of girlfriend problem, well, would-be girlfriend problems that I had. I went through a lot of shit to get to where I currently am. The least that I deserve after going through that bullshit is a better situation where my rent is relatively low compared to, Denver's average rent, and an opportunity to make a lot of munties. I'm a vet, bro. And apparently some niggas are salty about this shit because they can tell I'm eating. And I got these niggas feeling some type of way, bro. But you know what they say, new levels, new devils. Because I was like, bro, none of this shade that's being thrown at me now, none of that bullshit was going on when I was stuck down there. Because let me tell you what's going to happen in your 20s, bro, if you don't succumb to this. If you put up a fight. If you get to the point in place where it makes you rugged and you just say, you just basically werewolf and just say, fuck it. Bro, I got held at gunpoint in my 20s, bro. At the job. I was 22. Working at AutoZone. We got robbed. Oh, I'm going to tell it like it is, bro. I'm going to tell it like it is. Fast forward 1 year later, or a little bit, or around maybe 2 years later. 2 years later. I get my heart broken by the love of my life. I was 24. The only woman that, like I said, I'm quite positive based on the garbage ass females and it was all kinds of garbage ass females before meeting her and after meeting her. She was one of a kind. one of a kind. No woman has ever just, has ever just had me. I want to say sprung, but ain't like, we didn't fuck. It ain't like we fucked. But like New Breed says, some of the most spiritual connections that you can have with another human being of the opposite sex, of course, is by doing some of the most mundane things, like having a meal with her. It didn't take getting up and, getting in between her legs. And I know that because I'm not a virgin. I've been, I must have been, I'm not even gonna go into that, but I can't count how many times. That was the season of the year too. In my 20s was the times that I clapped cheeks and the opportunities that I had to clap cheeks. The times that I did clap cheeks, as well as the opportunities that I had to clap cheeks. And in the category of females that I had, from which I had to choose the clap cheeks, which is why when life throws me its bullshit, its garbage ass females, it does that to this day, like a nigga ain't been through. Like when this goofy ass town throws me its sorry ass females, I'm like, bro, no, like. But hey, it lets me know that I got character, that I'm not desperate. But see, that's the thing, man. That's the one thing that going through the Olympics of your 20s is it warrants so much wisdom. It warrants something even more noteworthy than quote unquote knowledge. It warrants wisdom. When you survive that bullshit, you go through that bullshit. Whatever goal it is, you get to tell, you get so much insight. And then, so when dumb motherfuckers, because, dumbass niggas ain't going nowhere. The world is still going to be the world. It is what it is. And that's what it is. So, idiots are going to come. And, another thing that I find so interesting, too, is that it's only after the storm that all these dickheads mind you, that weren't there. They weren't there when you was in the thick and thin. No one was. Everybody turned their back on you. Your girl turned your back on you. Your folks turned your back on you. Your job turned you, or you, in my case, you had to walk away from your job because it just got too goofy. It just got to be dealing with niggas. And niggas are the scourge of us, bro. They really are. And I guarantee you that them same niggas that I had to run into day in and day out during the 4 years that I worked at AutoZone, I guarantee you, if I went back to Memphis right now, I would not be in the least surprised if I saw some of them niggas, if not damn near all them niggas, doing the same exact thing. From way back when, during the time that I was at the Zone, from 2006 to 2010. It's 2024. Another thing that's so crazy is the fact that I'm coming up on, like I said, with me nearing 40, I'm coming up at an age by which, if I had stayed at AutoZone, instead of quitting at 24, just walking away from all that bullshit, I would have been coming up on my 20th year, which means I would have been eligible for retirement at 40. At 40. But to me, that was just a sucker move to me, bro. bro. That was just like, no, bro. That just wasn't what it was. That just wasn't where it was at. And I'll be damned if I go back to AutoZone now, because I'd have to put in another 16 years. And that's assuming they honored, and knowing they garbage ass, that knowing damn well they wouldn't. That's assuming that they would honor the 4 years that I already put in AutoZone. Come on now, bro. That's for suckers. And I saw a dude do that. It was my first year I saw this dude. So here I was, a new kid on the block, with all these savages, right? All these Negro savages. And this dude was getting ready to retire. And surely enough, he did. Got pension and everything. Well, bro, I can't tell you how many people walked off that job because they just couldn't deal with the nonsense. I gave AutoZone 4 years, bro, before I just said, fuck it. Fuck this noise. Fuck this bullshit. So I hate to put it to you, bro. You in the Hunger Games, bro. That's the whole purpose of your 20s. And you know, I'll tell you even something even more fucked up. While you going through thick and thin, your female counterparts who are the same age as you, they living life on easy mode. Because when a woman's in her 20s, especially her early 20s, that is when she is the most desired. But here's the thing. Men age like wine. Women age like milk. So women got it real good and nice and sweet when they're young, provided they have a high S&B. Because when they don't, yeah, not so much. Yeah, when a woman, she can be young all she wants. That's why the Condoleezza Rices of the world have to get out here and strike it like we do. Because they don't get pretty privilege. They don't get the benefits of pretty privilege. Niggas ain't trying to holler at them like that. They ain't got no S&V. And surely by now y'all know S&V stands for sexual market value. But the thing is, when we get older, our value goes up. Our money goes up. When they get older, best case scenario, they're still in shape. They're still somewhat, you know, even though they still can't compete with them 20-year-olds. But best case scenario, they still look good and their money is somewhat up, but it don't go up. Worst case scenario, it goes down, along with their looks, along with the S&B. So women's shelf lives, as quickly as they come, they don't last. Now I've heard an array of how long this shit lasts. Then you know, you add alcohol to the fact of bad food, that just trickles it down even more so. Because you know, you hear men say they won't date a woman any older than 25. I've heard 28. But guaranteed, by the time they hit 30, it's pretty much a wrap. It's pretty much a wrap. Men, on the other hand, living the lives that we have lived, facing the battles of life that we faced, according to KS, because I just looked at it and you know, I bear testament to this. I'm a witness. I'm a testimony to what he said, that men really start living life at 40. Because here's what I did throughout my 20s, and I continued this on throughout my 30s as well. My foundation is foreign languages. You got to find what you like. You got to find what you're good at. And he talked about, you know, real ones are those who've experienced failure. You should hear from the conviction of my voice. When it comes to this goal, when it comes to this little talent, this gift, whatever you want to call it, I have experienced a boatload of failure. Even in my best languages, because I'm good at what I do, bro. I'm good at foreign languages. I am a natural when it comes to foreign languages. And, you know, the test of time bears out. Every single time I so much as go to the grocery store, just like I did yesterday, and some of my Venezuelan neighbors can't speak a word of English, by the way. Straight, I mean, literally some fresh off the boat motherfuckers from Venezuela couldn't run any transactions. And you know the thing they got going on now is this whole thing where they speak into the phone and the phone translates for you. That, again, that's some bullshit. That, to me, that's human shit. And I say human shit because I'm on some God level shit when it comes to foreign languages, bro. At least with the languages that I know. I'm like, I don't need no motherfucking AI phone, no machine. I don't need no AI machine translating for me with my fellow man. I'm not encrypting code. I'm speaking a human language. What the fuck I need a machine for to do that? I'm like, fuck that bullshit. Fuck that noise. You got these motherfuckers, they got to talk into the phone so that they can communicate. And see, and yeah, that's the fruit of my labor. The fact that I don't have to talk into the machine to get somebody to from another country to understand what I got to say. I can just talk to them. I can just tell them. And that's coming from a quote-unquote introvert. Somebody who quote-unquote don't talk to nobody. I'm like, well, at least I can talk to the motherfuckers all across this earth. I can do that much. Whereas you dumb motherfuckers, and I've been squealing on it for years. I've been preaching and teaching and squealing about the importance of studying foreign languages. And then these motherfuckers run into motherfuckers who speak these languages and can't talk to them. I'm like, there you go, proving my point. And see, the gift that I learned, the gift that I get from that, from at least 20 years, because like I said, I've been speaking Spanish since I was 15. So I got well over 2 decades on that language alone, let alone all the other 50 plus languages that I speak. Fluently, affluently, doesn't matter at this point. I don't care, because I know what I know, and I know it. 我知道我说中文，我为什么告诉世界我说中文？ The world don't need to know. That see, bro, that right there, and I know you don't understand a word I just said, and that's the point. That comes from 16 years of knowing Chinese and practicing on and off, bro. That's what your 20s are for. Use the time and the space that you have now while you're young. And I know, foreign languages ain't for everybody. College ain't for everybody. But the reason why you going through what you're going through is because you're being tried by the fire, and you're gonna have to go through this so that you can set the foundation for the rest of your life. My 20s served to get that degree and get the fuck out of Memphis. My 30s served to build a foundation on that so that I can get some more degrees, because I see that having a degree in Spanish and other foreign languages ain't worth a good goddamn. Not in the job market, it ain't. But what it has done, what it just might do in a city like this, is put me in a position where I can, guess what, do my own translation services. And I got 50 languages, bruh. Your main languages. your main languages: Spanish, Chinese, Thai, Cambodian, Japanese, Burmese, Hindi, Telugu, Russian, Ukrainian, Swedish, Danish. I mean, if I haven't said German, yeah, German, French, bro, the list goes on and on. Korean, you name it. Swahili. I even got some African shit going on, bro. That comes from years, and that's the point. That's the purpose of your 20s. I dare say the purpose of your 20s is like, the reason why you go through what you go through in your 20s is because there are forces that don't want you to come out, as the Bible says, without spot or blemish. So that when you're tried by the fire, you come out as gold, without any kind of tarnish, without any spot or any blemish. When you've had so much of that bullshit that you just basically have a fuck you moment, a fuck it moment, and you basically say, I don't give a flying motherfucker what the fuck is going through. I'm getting up out this motherfucker. Either that or I'm gonna die trying. See, my 20s did that, bro. Not my 30s. It wasn't my 30s. It was my 20s that did me like that. My 20s put me on a path to which, if I set my mind to do something, your best bet is to get the fuck up out my way. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem, bro. It's gonna be a problem. And let me tell you something about Denver, Colorado. Let me tell you something about the world, period. The world is filled with people who didn't pass the test in their 20s. And you can see it. You can see just through their mannerisms, just through their, because I can sit up here and talk shit about Denver, Colorado. But bro, the whole world is like this, bro. Especially here in America. It kind of reminds me of that movie Fences, and I haven't seen all of Fences. I've really only seen bits and pieces of Fences. But it reminds me of, Denzel Washington's character has this teenage boy, but apparently he has an older son as well who's like 34. Now, mind you, this nigga is 34, well into his 30s. And the first thing that caught my eye was the fact that he was over there begging his daddy for money. Like $5-10 or something, wasn't it? See, that's what happens when you don't pass the test, when you don't pass the trial by fire. Because it is a rite of passage, bro. See, the rite of passage from boyhood to manhood, that shit don't start when you turn 18. That shit don't start, especially like I said, coming from my backgrounds where we're being coddled and, sheltered from the, we had parents who really didn't, like I said, really didn't teach us about life. And maybe they showed us or tried to anyway, but I'm like, no, y'all didn't. I mean, y'all, and I don't think y'all would have been able to anyway, even if you tried to. Because life and failure are the best teachers out there. It really is. And, I'm tried and true just by the amount of failure that I've experienced, that in and of itself. And I had to realize that too. That's something that, again, that wisdom that comes with failure. You're thinking, oh, I'm a failure, I'm a flunky. No. That failure, all that failure that you have experienced, that's what certifies you. And it certifies you because you know what it takes. You know what it's like, the disappointment, the frustration of trying to get to point A to point B, even when you know your shit. But you dealing with a city that is so ass backwards that it can't even recognize your talent. And then when you look back at that city years after the fact, you look and you come to realize that you was a diamond in a sea full of cobblestones, bro. A whole sea of cobblestones. But because you know how diamonds are even formed. I know this best because my first lessons in science was mineralogy. I love collecting precious stones. But I'm just going to go ahead and assume that we all know that diamonds are formulated. They're formed, like the way they're formed is they're literally pressure tested. They have to go through a certain amount of heat pressure in order to come out as a diamond. And of course, it don't always work that way. You know, a lot of diamonds, most diamonds really are formed from, lava. That's what I'm saying. It has to be hot than a motherfucker. So you're looking at the risk of either, a piece of rock either formulating into a diamond or turning into obsidian. Or just turning into a plain old cobblestone. But bro, it took just live long enough, bro. Because everything that you're going through, you're gonna build perspective when you in your 30s. Because that's all I've been thinking about ever since I came out here. And it didn't happen right, because I came out here when I was like 32, or really 31. But I was going on 32. It was just 1 month away from my 32nd birthday. But since I've been out here, bro, I've been thinking back to my whole reflection in life has been my 20s. And how I provided the city of Memphis, and I dare even say since I've been here, the city of Denver, with a talent obviously not too many people have. I had the languages back in Memphis. Here, I got the languages and the sciences. And what you gonna realize is whether or not you dealing with a city that's even worth dealing with, or if it's just some city that needs to be abandoned. Because hell, even Jesus had to walk up out of his city. Like what was his city? Bethlehem. Even he said a prophet isn't welcome in his own city. I had to raise up out of Memphis, bro. You might just have to dip from your city. I'm telling you what didn't nobody tell me. And it's so interesting that the only time somebody even revealed to me about this place, about Denver, was after I graduated, 1 year after I graduated, and was still out here trying to apply for jobs here and still trying to deal with the Memphis economy, still trying to deal with all this bullshit, instead of just taking my bags, packing my bags, and basically setting my baggage for exile. Leaving them niggas where I found them niggas. See, at this point, I was 29. I was 29 at this point, but I left at 31. Because it's not like I could just get up and walk out of Memphis. Because I was stuck in Memphis, Shit, it's hard to come by money in Memphis. You're talking about a city that's third in the nation in poverty. And the best thing that ever happened to me, and now that I'm here in Kooky, Colorado, right? These niggas is shook, they mad, they can't figure me out. But then again, how could they when they all on drugs? Yeah, we can't relate, bro. We can't relate. We of a different cloth. Like, bro, your whole shit is polyester. Ain't nothing organic about your shit. So that's what's I say that to say that's what's going on with you, bro. You got to find the objective. What's the objective? What's the assignment? Is it being an electrician? Is it being a musician? Is it being a scholar like me? By that, being an engineer, because if I could, Lord knows if I could do it all over again. But see, that was clearly the path. Because while I can't do anything in the job market with a degree in foreign languages, I can do something for myself with a degree in foreign languages. I can create a job avenue for myself. Basically hire myself and tell the job market to go fuck itself. See, that's the kind of courage, that's the kind of confidence being pressure tested like that gives you. You just get this I don't give a fuck attitude because you didn't been through the worst. You didn't survive the worst. You didn't survive the goofies. You didn't survive life's bullshit. Life came at you with all that bullshit. It didn't come at them other goofy ass niggas with that bullshit. I wonder why. I wonder why. And it's obvious at this point that the goofies ain't a threat. That's why you don't come at them fucked up. They stay coming at me fucked up. I was a threat to them. I was a threat to the system, the organization, whatever that was, which as far as I'm concerned, is basically modern day slavery. Keeping a nigga in chains, keeping a nigga in bondage. See, I was the antithesis of all that. So I say all that to say that if you're going through what you're going through in your 20s, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. And your best bet is to pull through. Fight it, survive it, endure it. And now, with that said, you gonna come out crazy. You gonna come out a little kooky, a little cuckoo. Because I'm crazy as hell. I mean, I still got sense. But I tell you what, I would rather be in my mental state now, where I'm a go-getting ass nigga. I'd rather be a crazy go-getting ass nigga than be some defeated bum walking out here in the streets of Denver, picking up syringes from off the ground, injecting myself, risking HIV, fucking with dirty ass needles, because that's what they got going on out here. Bro, I'm starting to, it really, you think it sucks now, bro. And I know it does suck, but bro, try surviving that shit, enduring that shit, and then go to a city just like Denver. And it ain't gotta be Denver. I'm just saying, go to a city full of garbage ass folks. These folks be going around, ain't had a bath in days, and you can smell them from miles away. I bullshit you not, bro. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk fucked up about Denver after what Denver tried to put me through, too. I'm like, shit, you ain't put your stanky ass niggas. And these niggas, yes, these niggas stank, bro. These people have obviously never heard of anything of a bath. I can't tell you some of the worst examples I'm talking about, bro. Females too, yes. Worst ones. Stank. Walking around, the flesh literally looks like it's got, I'm gonna get graphic. like they got some flesh-eating virus going on with them. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happens when you go years without, taking care of your hygiene. I bet you will be prone to flesh-eating diseases and viruses. And niggas can smell you from at least a mile away. That's what they got going on here. Not to mention LGBT, Satanism, and witchcraft. I gave these goofies a chance to explain themselves. So now that I know what's going on, I'm like, well, like I said, Denver, I gave you a chance to explain yourself. What's going on? Now we know. Y'all on some LGBT shit, y'all on some Wicca shit, and y'all worship the devil. Say no more. Say less. Say less. And that's what happens to people. That's what happens to people who basically don't get tried by the fire. They have nothing to live for. Or they're looking for some kind of entity to solve their problems, right? And these would be the very first people. These would be some of the first people who would claim to be on some atheist type stuff, saying that God isn't real and trying to do away with spirituality. But look at them though, dude. Look at what they're doing. They do witchcraft. They do Satanism. And I can genuinely say that because I can't tell you how many times I've seen these mofos rocking the damn pentagram. And not just the damn pentagram, having the goat Lucy on that motherfucker. Because, sometimes they try to make a cop out, like especially Wiccans, they try to cop out the whole thing that, Wicca, that has nothing to do with the devil. The devil's a Christian concept. Bro, these people worship the devil. Maybe some of them do just pure Wiccanism, just pure witchcraft, believing in the spirits of the elements or whatnot. But bros, a lot of these folks out here are Satanists. And another sad fact of that is a lot of them are homeless. Cop-outs. And I'll tell you something, I know where for as much as I hate to say it, I kind of know where they're coming from too. Because when I was in the thick of it, I low-key used, what I was going to do, it wasn't necessarily direct Satanism, but I damn near got involved in the occult my damn self. And I'll never forget, there was this Barnes & Noble that was open on Poplar and Highland, and I called myself trying to, gonna Wicca my way out of my problems, and called myself getting a book on nocturnal witchcraft. And on that very day, somebody saw me do that, and he just happened to pull out a book, this Christian book called He Came to Set the Captives Free. Now this was while we were still dealing with Christianity, which is fine because Christianity, it's not so much that I curse Christianity, it's just that there's a level of Christianity that basically adheres to white supremacy, and it's basically the flip side of Satanism. So in other words, I'm pretty sure God would have definitely approved of me dealing with Christianity before in fact, I know he would have before I turned Hebrew, before I realized that I was and that's another thing, knowing yourself, know thyself, knowing that you belong to the tribe of Judah. That's why this is so important. Because I would talk to folks, they'll say, well, man, I know who I am. I'm one in Christ. I'm not. And that's all well and good. Yes, you are. But Who are you? The African knows who he is. The Chinese dude knows who he is. The Mexican knows who he is. The peoples of the nations of the earth know who they are. Negro, who are you? Rule on again. Denialism. Just cannot accept and admit that you belong to the tribe of Judah or one of the other 12 tribes, depending on where you're from. Just cannot accept that you are a Jake, an Israelite. And in a time like this, you really need to know that. In fact, 29 was the age when it was like right around 20. It was right around 28, 29 that I started learning about white supremacy. And I learned at 29 that I was a Hebrew Israelite. Those were the gifts. Those were the gifts that came with, like I said, the knowledge and the wisdom that you get dealing with, at least what I had to deal with in my 20s. So that by the time I came out here, I was already locked and loaded with the knowledge of who I am, whose I am, and who my enemy is. As Sun Tzu puts out. I was reading books. Bro, that's another thing I was doing in my 20s. I was reading The Art of War, Sun Tzu. Know your enemy and know yourself so that in 100 battles, you won't be imperiled. You need as much knowledge as you can get. Ancient knowledge. Biblical knowledge. Because you at war, bro. I hate to put it this way, bro, but that's what's going on. You at war. And you an Israelite too? You at war, bro. You are in the thick of it. You don't even know. And the forces that are set out to destroy you, they don't care. In fact, the less you know, the better it is for them. Hence that African proverb, know thyself. Chinese proverb is know your enemy and know yourself. But at the very least, know yourself, know who you are. You got to, dude. Because all these folks that I've seen down the street, all these folks that I've seen, like I said, between Memphis and Denver, doing what they do. What are they doing? The shooty, or what are they shooting up niggas or shooting up their arms with, by arms, I mean injecting themselves with something. Like this fentanyl they got going on here. You think these people know themselves? You think they know who they are? Bruh, you might be going through hell, but I promise you, bro. The hell that you go through in your 20s, it won't even mask. It won't even come close to masking the hell that you will go through if you fail the test and continue on through your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and onward and onward. And the testament of that is every time I get out here and I run into all these lames, these homeless people, these goofies, all these people, even the people who ain't homeless, even the people who got a little position of power, they ain't got no peace. Because look where they got to work. Look where they got to work, bro. They might have, for all that bullshit they got to go through just to make that little paper. You'll get to a point in place where you'll pity these motherfuckers. Because I ain't got to go through all that. I ain't got to do all that to get my bread. But you do. These folks, bro, these people basically have to bow down to the devil, bro. And it is so sad, too. It's so sad. I'm not talking about the homeless people or the Satanists who think the devil's giving them power while they up here smelling like something that ain't had a bath in 7 years, something that's decaying in the ground some motherfucking where. Basically walking around a living corpse, flesh stinking, rotten. They got it out here in Denver. And I was just thinking, Denver's trying to keep people from coming here. I'm like, well, I got a reason. Like, I can give y'all a reason why not to come here. The people here stink. It stinks in this town. and it's laced with fentanyl. This place damn near probably puts a place like Skid Row to shame. Well, you know, with LA's homeless population they got going. But even the people who are in prominent positions of power, you know, like I said, with the LGBT thing going on, as well as the Wiccanism and the Satanism that they rock out here, it's sad what these people have to go through, what these people have to do, the kind of time that they own, and how they've revealed to me what kind of time they own. I'm like, yeah, y'all devils. Y'all devils. Because that's exactly how devils operate. And, you know, we've been learning more, you know, with the availability of YouTube, we've been learning more about the nature of devils. Hey, but like they said, new levels, new devils. The way I see it, if we're going to be running into these devils, we need to learn about, like I said, with what Sun Tzu said, know your enemy and know yourself. Even the Bible says to be vigilant. For the devil comes as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And I've seen the devil devour many lives here since I've been here in Denver. People who basically are just defeated. People who basically have just given up and have surrendered to the product. Surrendered to the drugs and the drug dealers. And the only motherfuckers who profiting off that drug is basically the Nino Browns of the world, people who slanging that shit. And you know, Denver, they ain't got no principles, so you know they probably just as hooked on it as the niggas up here. That's what failing your test in your 20s is. And the way to pass that test is really to survive that shit and get through what you got to get through to get to where you got to get to. I know that sounds a little silly, but here, let me say that again. The way you pass the test of your 20s, and it is something that you want to do, because you don't want the battle that you had in your 20s to go carry on into your 30s and 40s, 50s and 60s, bro. You don't want that. You do not want that. I wish I would. That is not what you want. But the way you pass the test is getting through what you are going through and have to go through in order to get to where you got to get to. That's what I'm saying. If your path is an electrician, engineer, dentist, well, like me, perpetual scholar, shit, might as well be. You gonna have to suck this shit up, bro, with men. It's different with us. We ain't women, bro. That's why women would never understand this unless, like I said, unless they are Condoleezza Rice. And even to that extent, they always gonna have a support system behind them. They always gonna have the sisterhood. They always gonna have daddy or a daddy figure. We don't get none of that bullshit. And that's alright, because we don't need it. We're men. But when we get to the end of the finish line, bro, I'm telling you, bro, can't nobody tell us nothing, bro. And Lord knows they be trying to. Lord knows people have tried to tell me something. And, you know, my thing is, I've been out here. Denver has been making me a little soft. So I'm telling you, bro, the next time somebody tries to come at me with so-called advice, bro, I'm probably just going to go ham. Not just screaming and cussing, but I mean, I'm going to be like, bro, you wasn't there. Who is you to tell me anything, bro, about life? Was you there to tell me something about life when I was going through what I was going through, when I was in the thick of it, bro? Down in Memphis 10, bro? You wasn't there. So who is you? Okay then, nigga, you can kick rocks. You can miss me all the way with that bullshit, bruh. You didn't have to survive what I had to survive, bruh. You don't know what this is, bro. And when you survive what I had to survive, you can look at all these garbage ass niggas, all these garbage ass females who shot you down, all these motherfuckers, and just cut their ass off. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face then, bro. Throw all them niggas under the bus. Fuck them niggas. Because I have a saying. I have a saying, bro. For all you going through in your 20s, for all those of you who are going through in your 20s, I have a saying. For all these people, because you notice now, you ain't got a whole lot of people around you. You notice that, right? Ain't that crazy? It's crazy to me, bro, because when I was in the thick of it, bro, I didn't have nobody. It's just like them. Oh, it takes me back to all them Christian songs that I grew up when I was a Christian. Like there's this song, like I had to learn to lean on Jesus, because I didn't have and he was talking about how he didn't have nobody. I remember them songs. Because, you know, I was in my mom's car and she'd be playing them all the time, like on WDIA. And it takes me back to them songs. It takes me back to that song like, my mind's made up, no turning back. I'm going all the way and I'm going in Jesus' name. Songs that I've been listening to since I was a little nigga, bro. Since I was a little ninja. I've been hearing these songs all my life. And like I said, how often is it the plight in the story of the Memphian to endure a city like Memphis, to survive a city like Memphis, and find himself out in the mountaintop hills of Colorado? That ain't the song of the Memphian. No, the song of the Memphian is basically to live out a Greek tragedy where you just one day run into being at the wrong place at the wrong time, getting your wig pulled back, getting shot. Whether you deserve that shit or not. And most of the time, they don't deserve it. So I encourage y'all, y'all young niggas. Let me encourage y'all young niggas. I may not have the best vocab. I don't care. The way I even speak, you would never think that I'm a polyglot. I don't sound like it. I don't speak properly, or, you know, I speak just like a hood nigga out of the trenches of Memphis. But just go through this shit, bro. You got to. And overcome it. I promise you, bro. It ain't nothing like it. And you will get hooked on the victory. You will get hooked on that. All the things that you doubted to yourself, you'll be like, man, I'll go up there and it will put a confidence in you, bro. It will put, once you come out that far, it will put a confidence in you, almost an arrogance in you, dang near. But all that humility shit, all that, bro, I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. The fact that I ain't got no females in my life, bro, I'm good on that shit, bro. Because that's obviously a sign from the universe saying that, well, let me rephrase it. That's a sign from the Most High. Let me not put the universe in front of the Most High. But it's a sign from above that you obviously ain't good enough for me. It ain't the other way around. That's what I'm saying. All this pop the balloon shit. I'm looking at aerospace engineers getting shot down by a bunch of airheaded Keishas. It should be the other way around. The nigga should be popping his balloon with a gang of females. Bro, you see how bro, it's so crazy, bro, just how ass backwards the world is, bro. It's crazy. It don't make nan kind of sense. A nigga like that, who, mind you, is in his 20s, but he's in his late 20s. He was like 27. This dude, a whole aerospace engineer, getting shot down by a gang of Keishas. Make that make sense. You've been through the trial and the fire of life, did something with your life, and had to overcome all kinds of goofy ass obstacles that are specifically, it would seem to me, are specifically designed and put out for us black men and nobody else. And you expect me to stand in a room full of goofy ass Keishas who ain't, like I said, I mean, when it comes to the fight of life, I ain't busted a motherfucking grape. Because you know how we talk about, like, when it comes to fight language, how, like, that nigga ain't bust a grape. When it comes to the fight of life, a lot of these Keishas are cowards, bro, and ain't bust a grape in their motherfucking life, and they ain't never had to. Ain't bust a grape. Because all the ass whoopings that I took in my 20s, you don't think that's debt, bro? That's debt. To me, that's debt. You think I ain't finna call for a rematch? At some point, I'm gonna want a rematch. I'm looking at life being like, yeah, you remember me, motherfucker? You think I forgot? The rematch is gonna be real estate when I get my house. The rematch is gonna be when I make a job instead of finding one. The rematch is going to be when I get back in school and get those degrees in engineering. This time it's going to be in engineering. That's the rematch. I'm like, yeah, it's on. It's on. It will make you a warrior, bro. Life in your 20s, it will make you a warrior. And warriors don't give a fuck. Warriors gotta cry sometimes, but we cry alone. That's the thing. But once we through, bro, now I'm not tearing up, but I am sniveling up because it's damn weather. I wouldn't be too surprised if I fuck around and wake up goddamn cold. This crazy, bro. This weather, it was hot as hell just yesterday, and now bro, it's gonna be going down 75 degrees. It's cool now. So yeah, it does. That's what has me sniveling. But see, the whole premise of warrior training and all that, doing what I did with martial arts over the course of my life, all of that was for the sake of, it's not so much as being the best fighter, having the best techniques or this or that. It really goes back even as early as my Taekwondo years, which I don't mention too often because, as I told you, I did ninjutsu and Kali, and I consider those real martial arts versus, just flinging some feet all over the place like, Cobra Kai. Some shit like that. Get your ass fucked up out here. But I remember there were these virtues or whatnot. Like, it was like courtesy, integrity, things of that nature. But one thing that stands out is indomitable spirit. That seems to be one of the virtues, one of the so-called Taekwondo virtues, the really warrior virtues that stood out to me is the indomitable spirit, the spirit that simply will not give up. And when you have to survive what I had to survive, it ain't no giving up. It ain't no all throwing in the towel and quitting. And now, if it's a hopeless situation you dealing with, like I said, because I quit Memphis, bro. So don't get me fucked up. Don't get me when it's time. Well, I mean, when it comes to, especially when it comes to people, oh, I will definitely quit your ass. When it comes to people, I'm all about cutting off game. I'm all about quit game. I'm all about throwing in the towel. That's what I mean when it comes to these females, bro. That's their problem. That's the American female's problem. She come out the woodwork all kinds of fucked up. Even when she fine, even when she looking good. Because there's more to it than that. It's fit, feminine, and friendly. Not fat, unfriendly, and just plain fucked up. Shit. Because that's how they coming. They coming at us all. They whole style is goofy, bro. Coming at us all kinds of fucked up. And that ain't, I mean, if the warrior is to be awarded a woman or women, I'ma just say it, bro. I deserve the best. I deserve the best examples of fit, feminine, and friendly. Just off the premise that I work out and, you know, I'm getting my PR up. I'm doing all this shit, bro. I'm a whole gym bro. Let alone all the other shit that I've done. But look at the trash that Babylon throws at us, even after the fact, just the disrespect. And then they had the nerve to wonder why so many of us men are quitting females, quitting dating. About time men finally figured it out. Because I'm like, look at the bullshit you flinging us. Like I said, even when the female just happens to look good, she got an attitude problem. She don't appreciate the kind of man that's standing in front of her. Men of our ilk ain't got time for that bullshit. Then they had the nerve to wonder why we going overseas and finding females who do appreciate that, who've been reared to appreciate a man. That's the kind of women that we going for and we should be going after. Makes sense to me. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off because, like I said, this wind is, and I know I'm going to feel its effect in the morning. And that sucks because it's still supposed to be 91 degrees. But, bro, I wouldn't be too surprised if I fuck around and wake up with a cold. I hope not. Shit. But, yeah, I'm going to go on. Because I know I spent well over an hour talking about this, ranting about this. Well, bro, that's what's going on with you, dude. That's why, you know, you sitting up here and, you know, I can tell just by your demeanor that that coming up, you probably didn't do martial arts. You probably didn't get roughhouse a lot. You probably sheltered, bro. And that's a huge disservice coming from your upbringing, your rearing. Because there were just some things that I had to go through that, you know, getting in the fights weren't going to teach me, and none of that shit was going to teach me, bro. I had to get into a fight with life, and life had to whoop my ass several times before I just said, fuck it. And unfortunately, a lot of y'all ain't gonna make the test. A lot of y'all gonna come out, I hate to say it, bro, but with this LGBT thing going on, a lot of y'all gonna come out as females. Because I've been seeing a lot of that. General Tito put that out about this dude who was basically, you know, a whole zesty. Because you failed the test of manhood. A lot of that going on. that's what happens when boys are coddled and, basically aren't allowed to be boys. When their testosterone, when they grow up in a single parent home with their mamas, and their testosterone, their natural testosterone, the things that make them boys and men, is arrested, on some arrested development type shit. Then life starts contending with them and starts whooping their ass. Cause bro, I ain't never had no ass whooping like life's ass whoopings, bro. Never. And I've been in, cause like I said, I did martial arts. I've been in scuffles, bro. Like in the ring and out the ring. I ain't never got my ass whooped the way life whooped my ass. Man can't fuck me up. Man can't beat my ass the way life has already done it, bro. I can genuinely say, even with men showing, me just the kind of savages they are, bro, the motto is to fear no man. That including statesmen, that including race soldiers that I have stood up to since I've been here. Like I said, these goofy ass Colorado cops coming at me with some bullshit. I let my nuts hang low. That's another thing. Cowards. They used to people cowering at them. And they tried their luck with me. I'm like, you got me fucked up. I'm from back east, bro. I say fuck the Denver Police Department as a whole. Fuck all you niggas. And the pedophile rings that y'all apparently run. You got this Memphis nigga all kinds of fucked up. Wait, let me fuck around and find out about the little pedophile rings that y'all got going on. What's that shit at apparently I've been hearing, it's been getting, I've heard it through the grapevine that at Denver Rescue Mission, at that homeless shelter, that y'all got a little pedophile ring going on. And you in on it? DPD? You in on that bullshit? Let this Memphis ninja fuck around and find out about that shit, motherfucker. See, you never know when it comes to my videos what kind of tangent and how far to the left of that tangent it's gonna go, bro. But to get off that tangent, like I said, going through what I went through in Memphis is exactly why I'm more than willing to get in your ass. Because only a coward would look at some shit like that, being in the know of some shit like that, and walk away from that and just, I don't know, like, be on some see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil shit. Turn a blind eye to that shit while you're going around bullying the citizens of Denver. You got me fucked up. You got me all the way fucked up. Any luck, the FBI or whoever, hell, or if any luck, a foreign power for that matter, will get up in your ass. With any luck, somebody will hold you accountable for your bullshit, just like this goofy ass police chief in some city up in this goofy ass state. Nigga got fired by his whole the motherfucking city council fired this nigga, and this nigga was a whole police chief being on some corrupt shit. That's what I'm saying, bro. It ain't nothing going on in Colorado Memphis ain't prepared me for. Everything that you've shown me ain't nothing short of what Memphis prepared me for. And to that young man who's going through what he's going through, bro, embrace it. You won't regret it. Embrace what you're going through, bro. Because you being tried by the fire, but I promise you, after the test, you're gonna come out as diamonds, you're gonna come out as gold. That's gonna be the thing that keeps you from allowing people to fuck with you. Because I'm like, bro, no ass whooping, it ain't no kind of ass whooping like life's ass whooping, bro. just like out here in the elements, like with this cold potentially fucking me up, bro. It gets cold than a motherfucker. How do you compare freezing to death to the threat of somebody beating your ass? When the elements can literally kill your ass. So let me just leave it at that and go in like I said I would. So yeah, stay up, bro. Just stay up. Stay in the fight, bro. Because the lessons that you learn from your failures, from your frustrations, from your ups and downs and woes and beat downs that life is putting on your ass, bro. You will not forget that shit, bro. And it will put you in a position. It will put you in a position to basically hold everything that operates in your life accountable, and those things that don't want to operate within your life or don't want to get in line. The things and the people who don't want to get in line get put out. Because you ain't got time. Especially when you get to my age, you ain't got time. See, you young, bro. You young. So you got people taking advantage of you and all that other shit. I know what's going on, bro. But if you ever go through what I had to go through, you're going to cut them niggas off with the quickness. And everything else that just doesn't suit your life, your peace, your finances, all that. You're going to cut them off like it ain't nothing. I don't care who they is. It can be your mama, your grandma, your cousin, auntie. It don't matter who it is. Because it will be your family members first. It will be people within, and then they'll expand to so-called friends, so-called co-workers, whoever it is, your associates, whoever. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. That's it. Go and get in. Hope this change of the weather don't fuck with my sinuses tomorrow. So I guess I'll catch y'all in the next video. I'm out. I'm gonna go on dip.